say, Lord God, I ask you bless it. Let me make sure I got some sound. Okay, I want to make sure I got some sound. And I got sound. What's up? Thank you for the likes. You done bust through the scene, giving me likes. Thank you so much. Come on in, y'all. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Let me get my music going. I ain't got time to be fooling around today. We're going to jump straight into having conversations. I don't want it on repeat. I want to shuffle it. What's up? I hope y'all had a great weekend. Right? Had a great weekend? Listen, I know everybody's been doing their mass following type things, and I promote that on this site. So if you guys go and like each other, do a mass on here, that's fine. It's not going to affect my message, because my whole thing with this mass following thing is, with me, I don't care how big I get, I'm gonna follow you back. And the reason I'm gonna follow you back is, what is that going to take for me? What is it going to take for me having all these followers or having a platform and I can't help the next one? So that's what my message is today. So let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. At one point, I wasn't into the whole social media thing anyway. I just came on, did what I had to do, and got off. So it was never a follow, don't follow. It was never a thing for me. But then when the mass following came, I was like, wait a minute now. Wait, hold on. They might be on to something. But see, everybody else was just doing it because they're like, hey, it's about to end. Let's just get a whole bunch of likes. But I thought about it. I'm like, okay. I always talk about always take care of the next person. Always, pay it forward. Always reach back. Always this. And I'm like, well, why is it okay to have a lot of followers and a little bit of followers? And then I realized what that meant. That meant that they was showing seniority of, or more like, I'm better than you. I got more followers than you. I never been in a TikTok thing. I just never been in the whole social media thing. I really didn't give a dog if you had a follow or didn't follow. I had one girl tell me, she said, I got a big following base when I started my Not Fitness back up. She said, well, what's your social media name? What's your IG and all that? I said, I don't have a social media. She said, well, what do you do with your life? I was like, well, I work. I'd like do grown-up stuff, like take care of business, turn on the news here and there, get into a little stocks, figure some stuff out, do a little reading, write books, become an author. This is the thing I'm thinking, like. But now that, I have this platform and I come on here to teach people how to love themselves, what better way to show them how much to love on yourself, and how much when I say I love you, because I really do. I mean it. I don't have to know you to love you. It's just a gift that I have. So what better way to do that is you follow me, I'll follow you back. Because the more I grow, that means you grow. Now, remember we talked about attachments. So that song, Everything Attached to Me Wins. Well, we scratched that. We ain't doing that no more. Ain't no more Everything Attached to Me Win. And Low Vibrational, that song hit. It was a hit. I talk about this every session. It's a hit until you really start healing and you realize everything attached to me does win. I lose. They suck me dry. They win. They go on about their business. I'm left here dried up. But now I'm like, everything I attach to will win. And what better way to show that is you follow me, I'm following you back. Because it's not about the wealth for me. It's not about the the fame or whatever it is that they have it on social media. It's not about that with me, because I'm here to do God's work. And this is to teach people how to self-love, how to love yourself, how to heal, how to be the better version of yourself. That's my only job. And once you get out of alignment on what your purpose is, so my purpose is to teach that, right? My purpose is to teach you how to love and what the correct meaning of love is. So once I get out of alignment with that and start thinking that I'm better than the purpose, then that's when hell breaks loose. That's when there's nothing left. That's when, I become a lover of self. So they talk about in the end of times, you become a lover of self. And that's why I tell people, when you're going through the self-love journey, don't go in with the whole attitude of, oh, ain't nobody gonna do me like this again, and I mean that, and I'm gonna be this, and I'm gonna be that, and then you come out selfish. You come out selfish, and then you get stuck in the wilderness. And how do you get stuck in the wilderness? You end up gatekeeping. You end up crabbing the bucket. You end up being all about yourself, and you miss the whole alignment of the purpose. And then therefore, the abundance doesn't attach to you anymore. You find yourself chasing a bag. See, when you're chasing a bag, that means that you're out of alignment. When you're in alignment, you don't have to chase anything. It's all going to come to you. You don't believe that, but yet you'll believe when they say, call out to your universe and say this is what you want and manifest it. Write it 3 times, throw it out there, burn it up and send it under your pillow and send it out there and make a rap about it and then do the 2-step dance to it, and it's going to all come true. You'll believe that instead of just believing that everything is so simple. Everything in life is simple. It's that simple. I do what it is that my purpose is. How do I know what my purpose is? Well, that's something that you have to go within. Only way you're really going to understand and know what your purpose is to do self-love. Once you start doing self-love is just not for you to come out floating like a butterfly and just walking around, in the hippie stages and just or going to mark yourself up to say you ascended to something else, or to show who your God is. You wear the certain colors and you put this around you, and that's not what self-love is. When you go in with self-love, you're identifying the God that's in you, created in his own image. The God that's in you. Because how can you love yourself if you don't love him? It's a spiritual awakening that you have to go through. It's something totally, totally different from, when you get baptized. The people that know what baptism is, we all get that fire. It's a feeling that you can't explain to a person that's never been baptized. But now think about that with the intense 10 times more. That's what a spiritual awakening is, because you have to go through, as they call, the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is pretty much all it is you facing you. It is you versus you. It is your letting go of the old. It is that twin flame that everybody keeps saying, like, I'm going to find my twin flame. No. That is your dark night of the soul. It's to face your masculine and your feminine energy. It's to face you. Because women, if you're standing in masculine energy, that's the energy that protects the part that you don't like about yourself. Huh? Men, if you're standing in feminine energy, that's the part of you that somebody wounded you on your masculine side, meaning you don't have the confidence. You don't feel, or you didn't have that role model to help you understand what it is you need to be. Or you're standing in the feminine energy because someone wounded you along the way. That's what dark night of the soul is. Everybody's trying to figure out, I went to the dark night of the soul. Oh, really? And then when they explain it to you, a person that went through it, you can't say anything. You can't tell that man or that woman what they went through. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the follow. I ask you guys, invite others. We're about to have a real conversation here. You can't tell someone what they went through because it don't feel like you. What you went through? No. What you need to do and what you should do is allow that person to talk. Allow them to talk. Because if you're blessed enough, because it's a blessing now, for that person to come to you and explain their experience. Hey, Sunshine, to explain their experience. This is a blessing. Don't miss the assignment. You were chosen by God to be that person that person can open up to and tell you about what they went through, because you have to deal with them. You know how to deal with them gently, because you have to. Thank you, Purple Rain. Hey, you have to know how to deal with it. That's why God put you there. So he's not going to bring someone to me that has went through the dark night of the soul and I never touched bases with it. Because you know what I'm going to do? Oh, you sound kind of out there. Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. No, no, no. It's a blessing. What's up, Lewis? Hey. It's a blessing to be the one that God sent that person to have that conversation with, because you know how to deal with it. So when that person come to me and they, I get a lot that come to me like, hey, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this is. Something happened. I keep being emotional, and this happened and that happened. I don't know what this is. How am I supposed to speak to this? What is this that's going on with me? You guys, thank y'all for the like, shares, follow, invite others. Come on in. What is this that's going on with me? My job as a life coach and a spiritual guide is just to tell you, hey, after you tell me what it is, I'm going to help you organize what you're feeling. I'm not going to tell you what you're feeling. That is not my job. Yeah, tap the screen, babies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that is part of the self-love journey. You have to go within. And when you confront yourself, that's the wake-up call right there. When you confront yourself. How do you deal with that? When you confront yourself, now you start looking at, oh, I wouldn't want to deal with me either. This is why I'm single. I wouldn't want to deal with me either. You know what I mean? Not the case. It's just that sometimes, as the men say, women, they got 27 personalities. Well, that is true in a sense. We wear so many hats. And when it's time to show up as that who we need to be in that moment, then we show up because we wear so many hats. So I show up as a coach when it's time for me to show up as a coach. What's up, guys? I show up as a mom when it's time for me to show up as a mom. I show up as that chick when you come to me sideways. You know what I mean? Yeah, that don't mean go out putting your hands on folks, y'all. Don't be talking about Coach Nye said show up as a chick. That ain't what I'm saying. I show up as Mama Bear when I need to show up as Mama Bear, because ain't nobody coming for my boys now. That's what happens. But what happens when you go within and you start healing within? When you decide to say, okay, it's time for me to love me. Well, let me tell you what triggers that. What triggers that is all that hurt that you've been holding on since childhood. All the disappointments that you've been holding on since childhood. The mother wounds that you didn't even know you had mother wounds. You was just out there pleasing your mother. You like, hey, I want to make mom happy. That's what all children do. We even do it until our adulthood, until that one, usually the chosen one, usually the one that's brought to bring in change in the bloodline. It's like, hey, hold on. You know what? That ain't right. Wait a minute. The rest of the siblings like, nah, you the problem. Mama doing the best she can. Daddy doing the best he can. Such and such doing the best they can. You the problem because you going against it. No, what's happening is you're starting to see that everything that was put on you, right? Thank you for the gift that was put on you as a child. Just like the pastor say, hey, do as I say, not as I do. Well, that's not the right thing to say at all. But this is something that had been said for so long. This is something that has been said for so long, because really think about it. How? You said, do as I say, not as I do. But then you're my leader, and I'm enticed by the things that you're doing. These are the type things that get you nice cars and nice house. I'm going to do what you do and what you say. Because you doing what you do and what you say, and look at your life. You understand? So it's a cycle that comes up, and this is learned behavior. We decide to be this person. We decide that this is how it is. This is how it's always been. But that one that decide like, no, that's not right. Just because it's been that way for so long does not mean that I have to do it. That does not mean that it's right. It doesn't mean it's right. Daddy was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. That's what they looked at Granddaddy, and they're like, well, Granddaddy did it. My daddy did it. I'ma do it. What's wrong with cheating? They said it in the Bible. They had a bunch of wives. Thank you for the follows. Thank y'all for the shares. Thank y'all for the likes. You guys come on in. And then they do it. And then they do it. And then they have another son, and the son is like, wait a minute. He happened to love, understand what the feminine energy is through his mother. See, that's why it's so important, regardless of what if you're married. I mean, if you decide to stay married, you know, and put up with stuff, that's on you. Just that's a you business, not a I business, right? So whatever situationship, however you want to handle it, that's you. But just remember, your kids are always watching. So if my kids see, or my son said, okay, the one decided, I'm not going to cheat. I watched my mom cry because of how you did her. I watched my mom struggle because the way you did her. When I get a wife, I'm going to treat her like this. I'm going to be this to her. I'm going to be the man that I'm supposed to be. I'm going to be that Ephesians 5:25 man. I'm going to be that for my wife. Do you understand? All because as his mother, he may have seen me weep, but he seen me go through and he knew that it wasn't right. He knew it was more for me out there. So he decided to break the chain. He ended that cycle within the bloodline. So everything that he brings in, he's going to be the example for. Do you understand? That's what part of self-love is. It's the ones that say enough is enough. I know y'all did this. Like for me, I was hell bent on not being a single mom. I was hell bent on staying married, you know? And I said I was going to do that. And that joker just kept throwing me up against the wall, not putting his hands on me physically. Please don't get it twisted because I got them hands. But what I'm saying is, every time it was something different to make me sad. It was something different every time to make me sad. And I went on for years like, no, I want to stay married, you know, and this is how I want to do it. And I got to set an example for my boys because I don't want my boys to think that, because I can't stand when men say this. I've dated men and they say, when I would tell them, no, I'm not going out because, you know, I ain't got no babysitter. I chose to be one of those moms. I'm with my kids. I'm hanging out with these dudes. And he's like, well, my mama raised us by herself and she went and don't compare me to what your mama did. See, what you're looking at is the surface level. Were you there when the times when, you know, when I would vent to my so-called boyfriends, right? And I would vent to them like, I'm just tired. You know, I just need some help. And this, my mama did it and this. But you wasn't there when your mama went to bed crying at night. Half the time when your mama was getting them $40, you didn't know where they was coming from. But at the end of the day, you don't know what's going on with your mama. All you seen was surface level. So don't look at a woman and say, oh, and just assume because she's a single mom raising kids, she got it because my mama did it. You don't know what your mama went through. Okay? So that was part of my self-healing. I had to confront those things. Everything and break the cycle. I'm not going to be a single mom. That's what I thought. I was trying to break that. Well, I did a good job. I did my part. Now, I did my part. Now, I ain't a fool now. I ain't going to stay somewhere just because. And then when I'm in my 50s and 60s, I'm talking about, well, I'm going to get a divorce and I'm going to go out there and find somebody. No. Nope. Not going to be me. No. I'm not going to keep allowing mess that I'm entangled with to make me miss out on the husband that's meant for me to be with. And in order for me to get to the man that I'm supposed to be with, or no, let me take that back. Reel it back in. In order for that man to get to me, I have to clear out all the blockages. And that means I have to heal. Everything else will fall away when you heal. See, as I'm healing, I'm realizing that this no longer served me. What was I thinking? That's not smart at all. Who thought of that? Who did these things? Look how I'm treating myself. And then when you start identifying how you're treating yourself, that's when you start realizing, okay, you get more spiritual and you're like, okay, love. It just rings so differently now when you're healing. Hey, Leah, it rings so different when it's ringing. It's just that sound of love. Okay, God is love. It's the highest gift of all. It's love. Now you're looking at love a little bit different. If God is love, and I have to go within to do self-loving, and God is within me, oh, dang. I've been letting trash come onto me. I'm supposed to be the protector. Just look at yourself as you're the rib that protects the God in you, the love that's in you. You've been letting folks crack them ribs for a long time, right? We do things and not even knowing. I did it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even trip. Your neighborhood homegirl right here. Listen, I am right here, right? I am no better than anybody. I'm your homegirl. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I have dated some trash. Trash. I didn't realize they was trash until I started healing. And I realized, well, what that make me? I'm just over here just dating anything. Because I didn't know my own worth. I thought I knew my own worth. No, I'm over here just, oh man. It made me feel real bad. I'm on the corner like, God, please don't let these people ever tell anybody they know me. Because I don't want these problems. I don't want that. Because now I know how precious I am. Because I did the self-love and I did the healing. I went on a journey that was it got so dark. It got so dark when I went on that journey. And there was no one for me to call because no one understands. See, everybody, they hear you. They'll hit you with I feel you. You don't feel nothing until you deal with a person that went through what y'all call the dark night of the soul and that spiritual awakening. You don't feel nothing. Because I'm going to tell you like this, you go through it, you will not tell somebody, I feel you. The next thing you going to do, let me tell you something. They don't have to tell you they went through it because you're going to know it. Your spirit is going to know it. Your spirit, once you identify what your purpose is in the spirit, it's going to know it. Like with Mary and Elizabeth, John and Jesus jumping in the stomach because they know each other. They know each other. God told her what to name her son. God told her what to do. Boom. They knew they had a mission, but this is what I'm saying. They knew they had a mission, but they didn't understand the mission. But John and Jesus knew exactly what was going on. That's why when they came together, they was jumping together in the womb because they understood. They know who they are. They know what their purpose are. So when you find a person that has went through their dark night of the soul or their awakening, they don't have to tell you that. You're going to feel it. You're not going to hit them with the I feel you. You're not going to hit them with that. What you going to do immediately, because you know what to do. You going to get that prayer blanket. You going to get that blanket. You going to get whatever. I'm good for this. You put your head right here on my lap. I'm going to rub your back because I know you just went through hell. I know you just went through hell. I know you just got drugged all through it. I know what it's like. So for me to say, oh, I know exactly what you're saying, and I feel you. No, that's not what they need to hear. What they need to hear is nothing other than they don't even have to talk. It's a conversation that you don't even have to have. It's just actions that energy need to be transferred. Love. You need to feel my love. You need to feel my love because your cup is almost dry. That's why God placed certain people into your life, because just when your cup is about to run dry, God will send what you need in to fill it back up, because he will make my cup overflow, and that overflow I can take on to you and put into your cup. Do you feel me? So it's important to go within, loving yourself, identifying who you are. As I always talk about, and I'm never going to stop talking about it, because that is the whole thing, to get you in alignment with what your purpose is. This is the time that it's time to wake up. This is a whole new, as we talk about timelines, everybody think that we talking about a timeline like on the Matrix and things like that. And that's totally not what it is. But, a person that's closed-minded, that's how they'll see it. But it's so much more to that. It's so much more to that. It's so much more. It's so much more to learn. But what I don't want you to get is caught up on all the social media hype. Go this way, do this, no. When you decide to pick up your cross and to deal with yourself, God is going to give you just what you need. You just got to know that while you're walking through that door with your cross, and you about to walk into the night with your cross and with your feelings, with your hurt, with your pain, all these things by yourself, it's worse than people say, oh, be scared of the enemy. It's worse than that. Because these are things that you've packed down for years because you didn't want to deal with it. You didn't want to deal with it. And so we get in these relationships, situationships, husband, wives, we get married. Thank you for the follow. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the shares. Go ahead, like it up for me so we can get more people. But when you get in these type of situations, relationships, or whatever kind of ships there are, right? When you get into these things now, you know, you will go into them with the, how many of y'all, because I done it. Well, I mean, ain't nothing else out here, because we quick to say that. Ain't nothing out here to date. At least he paid the bills, but something you're not attracted to him on this end. And then people tell you, you ain't going to get 100% what you want. Or will you? The person that's designed for you will satisfy all your needs. Do you understand? They'll satisfy you. God is not going to give us. You think when he was making Eve, he didn't think about Adam? Well, Adam didn't know nothing else other than himself and some animals. So anything would have excited him, probably, I'm assuming, right? I mean, if he would have put a duck with a dress on it and said, hey, call it wife. I mean, he never seen a duck before with a dress on. So, you know, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is he gave Adam everything that he's going to need. He knew, let's just say Adam was very arrogant. Let's just say that, even though it's nobody else but him and the ducks and the animals. But still, he's just a strong-minded person because God created him, right? So he's like, I got to make Eve just compatible, but a little bit of soft here, a little dash of that, a little hint of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? So when your spouse come in, you're going to know that this is what it is. He's going to know. You're just sitting around waiting because that's what we're supposed to do. As wives, we're supposed to just lie in the waiting. How hard is lying in the waiting? Well, this is where people get it twisted. They lie in the waiting, and that's all they do. That's it. They ain't doing nothing else. They just lying and waiting. And then they miss their opportunity because of the fact it's not about just, I'm saving myself for my husband. I'm doing this and I'm doing it. It's not about that. What it is about is, okay, I understand that I can't let you, you know, like MC Hammer, can't touch this. I understand I can't let you touch me. However, in this moment, I'm going to be working. In these moments, I'm going to be researching things, defining myself, making myself a better person. Esther didn't just sit and they just waited. Remember, they had to go through a process. 6 months of this and 6 months of this fragrance and 6 months of that. What if she would have decided, I'm just going to lay here and just wait, and when the king called me, then I'll spray a little bit of this and spray a little bit of that. No, they had to teach her. See, it was in those times that she had to learn how to be a queen. She was being taught how to be a queen, how to be a wife to the king, how to be a queen to her people, even though she wasn't even picked yet. So when you're just waiting and you know God is going, thank you for the follows, the likes, and the shares. And you know God is going to bring your husband, just sit back. But continue to do you. Go work. See, everybody want to be a Proverbs 31 woman, right? Everybody want to be a Proverbs 31 woman, but they don't want to get the fact that she worked. She had jobs, okay? So with her jobs, she didn't have time to sit and be bored and stagnant when her husband come and now she's nagging like, hey, why is this, why is that? She's too busy out there buying fields, making garment, selling, investing. She was in stock before it was even called a stock. She was out there making money. She was out there busy, you know, being the better version of herself. And if her husband decided to leave her, guess what? She good. Because she worked. I mean, you know, that's not the end goal to get married, to get a divorce. That's not the end goal, okay? Thank you, Christy. But what I'm trying to get to you is this. Don't just lay and wait. Don't lay and wait. He's coming. Matter of fact, he's probably watching you the whole time. He's been watching you. He just want to know, who are you? What are you about? I'll need to research you. She working, yep. I need to know, are you bossy? Do you know how to be submissive? Do you know how to? Yeah, we know how to be. Women know how to be submissive. It's just, what are we being submissive to? You can't come to me, you need to be submissive. For why? That's the broken English. That means I'm serious. For why? For why? What are you going to do for me? What can you possibly be doing in my life to make me submissive? Cheating on me. I'm worrying about, is you doing something wrong? You always in your phone? You're not paying me attention and you want me to be submissive? Yeah, I'll be submissive, all right. She's going to be a submissive detective in your life because she's going to get to the bottom of what the problem is. Okay? So, but scratch all that. When you get the man that you're supposed to be with, you ain't going to have to worry about all that. You're not. Because he's going to feel accountable to God. Period. Now, let's look at it in this way. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't click off. So, work on you. Focus on your purpose. Well, Coach, now, how do I know what my purpose is? Well, a lot of y'all are operating your purpose and don't even know it. It's what drives you. Okay, for me as an example. Whenever I go anywhere or get up or anything, I'm always thinking of someone else. I'm very compassionate. I just love. It's just what it is. I'm always thinking, even when I'm in my bed sleep and I could be mad, I'm still thinking, how can I help somebody? What am I going to do? Like I have this big old pond, about a half an acre pond. And I'm thinking for the summer, because I'm going to stock it. You can only stock it between fall and spring. And I said, I'm going to stock it. But then I got to wait, for it to mature. But I need to find out some fish out there because I want to do a fishing party for all my neighbors. This is what I'm thinking. I'm always thinking of how I can bring people together, help people, and, put people where they're supposed to be, which is on their path. Not forcing you, but me just being who I am. See, that's how you understand what your purpose is. What drives you? Love drives me. And people look at love. No, I'm not saying love. You can come into my life. Hey, I want to marry you. Yeah, pump your brakes, bruh. Hold on. Just because I love don't mean that I'm about to drop down, get my eagle on, and I love you back like that. No, that's not what that means. Love is my compassion for people. I care about your heart. While you two worrying about hurting me with your words or your thoughts or whatever it is to come up against me, I'm still thinking about how I can heal your heart with boundaries. See, I used to just go straight in, like, come here, give me a hug, I want to help you. No, I'm not doing that no more. You know why? Because they mistreated me. They treated me like dirt. Red Mississippi dirt. That red dirt. That country back road red dirt. Y'all know what that means. They treated me real bad. However, I learned that it wasn't them, it was me. I'm the problem. Because I allowed them to treat me like that. I mean, duh. People are only going to treat you how you want to be treated, how you allow them to treat you, or how you treat yourself. I didn't love myself, didn't know it. So why would they love me? And then the craziest thing is, how am I loving people so much? But I don't love me that much. The problem is I didn't know I wasn't loving me that much. And I was loving them that much because I was treating them how I wish and wanted to be treated all my life. All my pretty girls rock like this. I'm telling you, that's why I treated people so good and allowed them to treat me so bad, because I was used to being treated bad. So it wasn't nothing new to me. It wasn't nothing that like, oh, well, it's just like how my friend, my homegirl, she been big all her life, right? She been big all her life. Thank you for the follow. And so when somebody say fat, she like, psh, I've been called that all my life. That ain't hurting me. Now they got nothing else to hurt her with. Do you understand? So when people were hurt me still in my adult life, psh, you don't faze me. I've been hurt all my childhood up into my adult life. But something happened when I decided to heal. When I decided to heal, your fault, not mine. I wish you would. Because now I understand you've been mistreating me all this time. I can't do payback. I got to show you love. I got to show you compassion. But now it's a thing called boundaries. I have boundaries now. So you're going to come to me, same situation, same scenario, different outcome this time. You're not going to get the, yeah, trauma dump on me, put it all on me. Oh, yeah. And I'm staying up for hours. I'm missing out on sleep. When it's time for me to go to work, I'm tired. And all this stuff. No. Hold on. What you got? All right. In my book, because I always forget to, in my book, Trinity Walk to Self-Love, if y'all haven't got it, it is, listen, it is on Walmart. I don't know if they kicked me out the Walmart program yet. I don't know. They rolling back everything else. That's a whole nother topic, something else. But it's Amazon. Don't even know there either. But yes, it's on these different places in this Barnes & Noble's website. Get your book. And I talk about the energy pull. And what the energy pull is, I had to set boundaries and say, okay, I'm going to give you a limit of how much mess you gonna have to tell me. Trauma dumping I'm allow you to do, or gossip, whatever it is. I don't do gossip, so that ain't never gonna happen. But whatever it is that you got that you need my energy for, because I had to realize, because this is how I used to live my life. I used to live my life like I was the energy company. I was fully the energy company. And people can plug into me, the energy company. And I had to learn I am not the energy company. God is the source, right? I'm just the wall outlet. That's it. And so when people come plug into me, I can fill their battery up 100%. But it's when God say enough is enough, the source is cut off. So my energy pull, I give you a limit. You can come plug into me. But when I get to that point, see, God make my cup overflow all the time. All the time. My cup is like the Niagara Falls. It's going to constantly overflow. It's going to constantly do that because I stay in alignment on what it is my purpose is, what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Constantly going to overflow. But listen, once you get to the point that you trying to not just take my overflow, but you trying to take all the overflow and you trying to get up in my cup, oh no, cut. Those are my boundaries. You're only getting, and then that's if I allow you. You know what I mean? Just because God made you a special type of person to be able to heal people, you know, to be able to speak to them, to be able to speak to their heart. Just because God did that does not mean that you're supposed to do that with everyone. Everybody don't get your overflow. Just because you got extra don't mean everybody got it. See, all my life, I would have extra. If I got an extra dollar, I'm like, hey, yo, I got an extra dollar. What y'all want to do? No, I'm not doing that no more. Because you don't deserve it. No, God gave it to me. God did not say, hey, Coach Diane, go out there and give it to everybody. No. If God don't tell me to share this overflow, this extra dollar with you, then I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry, bruh. You just gonna be broke. Because everybody has their own lessons in life. And if you keep coming in trying to be Captain Saver 304, then guess what? You're going to get caught up in that karmic cycle that they're in, that lesson that they got to learn. And you done already came out of learning that lesson, but then you done threw yourself back up in there. That's what I call going from high vibration of loving yourself, healing, being the better version of yourself. And then you let somebody attach to you and pull you back down. Just when you thought you was out the bucket, they said, nah, come on back down here, because you chose to turn around and say, I don't want you to go through that by yourself. But you had to go through it by yourself. You went through it by yourself because it was your journey. In order for you to come out on the other side, you had to go through it. How is that fair that this person do not go through theirs, but they get to tag along with you and they never get to learn the lesson? All what's going to happen, you know what's going to happen? They're going to blame you. When you finally get way up here and you allowed them to attach on and they done brought their tail way up there with you, they're going to blame you because they don't feel like they fit in. They're going to blame you because they can't afford, to hang out the way you hang out. They're going to blame you for everything, and as they should, because you snatched them way up there instead of allowing them to go through the process like you went through. You bringing people to places where you know they can't fit in. I don't care if they got the looks. I don't care if they got the money. But their spirit cannot fit in where you are. And the reason why their spirit can't fit in where you are is because of the fact they didn't have to go through the pruning. They get to skip over all that. Because you protected, jumped in the way of their lessons, their life lessons and everything. And you wonder why is stuff getting hard? All of a sudden, everything used to come to you easily. Money flowed to me easily. Ain't that how the beat go? Everything flowed to you easily because you are the abundance. You are the blessing. You stay in alignment, you're going to get the world. But because you start bringing other people with you now, you out of alignment. Things start getting hard. You find yourself working hard. You find yourself looking for money. You find yourself wanting more money. You find yourself in thoughts of how can I get this, when just before you didn't have to do all that because it was like, it wasn't a thing. You didn't care. You were doing your job. See, because I'm doing my job. Some days, what's up, Pop Hood? Some days I sit back and I'm like, man, I want to do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, cool. But guess what? I do this, that, and the third. Because I stopped worrying about how I'm going to get the money. I said it. I want it. It's going to come. Now keep working. I'm working. I'm working right now. Who's to say somebody ain't going to come on this live and give me a 1.5 mil? I don't know. One of y'all might be like, you know what, Coach, now I like you. Let me get you 7 figures. Write you a check and send it to you. Yeah. And I'm going to take it. And I'm going to say thank you. God. Look at God. So that's the thing. When you start getting out of alignment, stuff get hard for you. It get really hard for you. It get really tough. I have the easy peasy. Because when it got even easier for me is when I realized that nothing that I'm doing has anything to do with me. Everything is to bring glory to God. So the attacks that's happening to me is spiritual. They're attacking my spirit. They're not attacking me. These people don't know me. These people, if you coming for me, that means you got some insecurities. Because when I say I am the definition of minding my own business, like I can be sitting, I don't care where I am. Half the time I'm in my own head because sometimes I'm a rapper in my head. I don't know. Sometimes it be Looney Tune. I'm just focused, man. I'm just in my own world. I like to joke. I probably got a bunch of jokes because now I'm at that stage that y'all call it dad jokes. I'm calling them mom jokes. My kids just like, Mom, that ain't even funny. Yes, it is. I'm cracking up. Don't you see me? This is funny to me. They think I'm funny anyway. But what I'm trying to say is these are the things that go on in my head. And when that's not happening, then I'm thinking about what can I do better to be a better mom to my boys because they're getting older. And then I start thinking like, okay, how can I be a better person? And then sometimes I get in my head, after I'm thinking about all that, that's them 27 personalities y'all say the women have. These are the different hats that I wear, so I have to speak to each hat. Each hat that I wear has an issue. So, okay, my son wants to be on the football team, so now I'm Coach Mom. Who am I going to contact for that? And right after I start thinking about that, what am I going to cook? Chef Mom is here. What am I going to cook? What is this? What is that? These are the things that I go on in my mind, right? And then out of nowhere, here comes the curveball. God, when you going to bring my husband? Well, I'm still single. Listen, I had a breakdown today. I love to tell y'all, things about me because I want you to understand I'm so normal. I'm so the average female, just like, hey, I'm that chick that I'm not, a lot of people, before they get to know me, they think that a lot of the females, they would say stuck up. I'm not stuck up. I just don't have nothing to talk about because right now I'm in maybe I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm thinking, when I walk in the room, I'm always going to speak, but maybe I'm focused on something. But if you speak to me, hey, as a personal trainer, when I'm in the gym, they think, oh, well, you mean, no, I'm just focused. Because you don't understand these repetitions that I'm doing, these reps that I'm doing, they hurt. Just because I'm a personal trainer, been doing this for so long, don't mean it don't hurt. This hurt. I'm focused. I'm telling myself, girl, you can do this. You better do it. You better do it. And I'm telling myself back, I don't want to do it. I'm tired. Can we just do 8 reps? No, we're going to do 10. I got to push myself, right? So today, I was with my boys, and I'm like, okay, we got to go to Home Depot because, stuff got to get fixed. So I go, and I'm looking for the borders, the baseboards. And I'm like, okay. For some reason, I don't even know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, okay, fine. I find the baseboards. But since it's on my patio, I'm going to do the PVC, So I'm like, okay, they explained to me what the difference was. And I was like, all right, cool, I got this. So I get to it. Oh, Lord, I probably start crying again. But I get to them, and I didn't bring my truck. So it's long. It's 12 feet. And I'm like, okay, I didn't bring the pickup truck, but I'm in my, my SUV. And I'm like, okay, I can cut it in half. Well, with the metal cut, the machine, you can't cut PVC on the machine. I'm like, okay, cool. So the man was like, hey, I have to cut it on here, which was the handsaw. And I'm like, all right, cool. So now I'm waiting. I put all my pieces on there. And another guy came, was like, hey, is this yours? I was like, yeah, I'm waiting on the guy to cut it. He was like, oh, okay, well, until he come, I'm going to cut mine. So he moved my stuff off, and he cut it because it's cool. I mean, it's fair. And I'm sitting and I'm waiting, and I'm sitting and I'm waiting. And then the man come, he was like, okay, you got it. I said, yeah, I'm waiting on you to cut it. We was waiting on you. He was like, no, you're going to cut it. And I'm sitting back. And I had to take a deep breath. Because I said, well, I didn't know that we can cut our own stuff. It's Home Depot. What if somebody get cut? I mean, I don't know, right? And he was like, yeah, but you got to get customer service for that. This is where you work at. This is your section. But I said, okay. Immediately, I got tears in my eyes. And I didn't get tears in my eyes because this man wouldn't do something for me. I've been doing stuff for myself my whole life. My daddy taught me how to take care of myself. It's just the fact that I get tired. It's like I'm doing everything. Like, this is something that I'm like, okay, God. You keep reassuring me that, you're about to bring a husband and you're about to bring this man. But, I don't understand. Like, God, I'm at the point that I don't want to do this stuff anymore. I don't want to be the one out there going to fix the outside. Listen, if a pipe break, before I call a plumber, I'm out there because I got all the tools now. You should see me. Because all these nails, they come off. Wigs off. I don't even care. Usually if I'm in the house, I got a baseball cap on, some jogging pants, t-shirt, because I'm working. I'm always doing something, right? And so I wanted to cry. Well, I didn't want to cry. I did cry. But what God reminded me in that moment is, because my oldest son, 17, he stepped up. It's like, okay. And he grabbed the saw. And in that moment, that was God letting me know, you have help. So another man that didn't even work there, come around the corner. He said, do you know how to use a handsaw? Me and my son looking, it's our first time, but we're about to get it. He was like, no. And he gave my son, a lesson on how to cut the pipe stuff. And it's so small to some, but it's a lot to me because in that moment, I was having an emotional meltdown. Usually, I don't care. Like, I can get this. I got this. But in this moment, because I'm getting older, I'm 43. I don't want to be out here climbing on the roof talking about, hey, let's patch this roof up. Let's put a shingle up here because I know how. That don't mean I want to do it for the rest of my life. And so for him to take the time to do that because he's seen how the man that worked there did. And then the man had the audacity to walk by and say, the guy was asking me how many feet was it. He was like, it's about 14. And I'm just like, yeah, because I'm pulling it. I wasn't even done because I'm really irritated with this man. Now you want to come help. He's like, no, it's a 12-footer. Man, if you don't get out my face, bro, you better go find somebody to play with. If you don't go play in traffic, I'm gonna need you to get out of my face. That's how I felt. I was so upset with him. Like, why? But I had to realize that was another lesson for me, is to look within right here. Stay present. Stay present, because I immediately went into anxiety of future thinking, of past thinking, of all these different things versus stay in the present. What tools do you have right now in your present time? I wanted God all my life to send someone to love me. He sent me 2 boys that love me regardless. Love me regardless. No matter what I do. You know, back then they say you whoop them. You ain't got to do that now. You take their phone. That's the worst thing in the world. Guess what? They going to hug my neck even tighter. They'll get to the point, instead of being the type of kid to disrespect me because they love me so much, they'll just get with it and say, you know what, Mom? Screw that phone. Give me a hug. I love you. Because they know, God. My boys know, for me to get on to them, instead of them getting upset with me and this, that, and the third, they look at it like, well, if Mama done got upset with us, that means we done messed up. We need to fix it. And so I'm so grateful that God blessed me with those 2 souls, you know. So I had to become present. So that's part of that. That's something I learned on my self-love journey, right? Is that it's things about me learning to stay present. Everyone is not going to treat you the way that you treat them. Everyone's not going to see the world the way you see the world. Everyone is not going to lead with compassion and lead with their heart. When I say I have no ill intentions, no motives, I have no, it's just not in me. Like, I don't have it in me. I don't see somebody and all of a sudden, I got this fit. That is not who I am. Thank you guys for joining. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the shares. Thank y'all for the follows. It's just not who I am. I am just that person that's just so in my own world. And even though I know everyone don't know or understand what unconditional love is, I know that I'm going to lead with unconditional love regardless. Regardless. I have no motives to come for anybody. It's just when I genuinely help. I had a neighbor. I did something for her. It was just out of the blue. We were talking about gardening, our stuff. And we didn't have no sprinkler system. So I found these little kit. You know, you can run it through your flower beds or whatever. So I ended up getting her one. She didn't ask for one, but I ended up getting her one. And her whole thing was, okay, well, I'll give you. No, don't worry about the money. Because to me, it's nothing. I lead with love. Regardless. And so everything for her, though, was, if I do this for you, you do this for me. Or you know what I mean? So I'm like, no, that's not how that worked. It's not how it worked. So she had been waiting for me to say something all this time, and I wouldn't because it's nothing to say. But we live in a world that is not like that. But I'm not going to change me because the world is like that. That's your loss. That is a your loss, not a me loss. Matter of fact, I got both my neighbors one on each side. The one on the other side is just that I had extra left over, and he asked about it, and I said, well, here, take these. And he kept, I'm gonna pay you for this. I gotta get you. You ain't gotta get me nothing. See, it's only one of me. I'm kind of a big deal. I tell folks, I'm kind of a big deal. But no. What I'm trying to make you guys understand and know that when you go on a self-love journey and you actually decide to heal self, not go on there trying to make it and become selfish, right? We're not doing that. You can't come out talking about some, oh, I wish somebody would. They got the same 24 that I got, and they got this like I got, and you know, and they better get it. I remember when I was on the floor and nobody was there. Yeah, I remember I was on the floor. Let me tell y'all a story. Let me tell y'all a real story. Let me get some of this light. This light is bright. Okay. So let me tell you a story. Now check me out. I was 26 years old. 26. When I had my oldest son. And I was in the military. Their dad was in the military. And he was deployed. I'm pregnant. So he deployed. I was about 4 months, 5 months. And, okay. He had family that lived nearby. Lived right up the road. And I'm pregnant. Now, my family knew I was pregnant. So my mom was like, well, when you gonna have a baby? I told her the dates. I said, but now this is me at 26, first child. I don't know nothing. So let me tell you what I told them. Well, don't worry about coming if you can't make it. Because I would rather, you be there afterwards, and I don't want you to get here and then I don't have a baby. I don't know. This is what I'm telling a person that already had a baby before. That know what it's like to have C-sections at that. So I said, don't worry about it. I'll just drive myself to the hospital and check myself in. Now this is me, first child, don't know no better. I'm 26 and I'm just like, hey. Because I've been so used to my entire life of being left out and not thought about that. That's how little I thought of myself to say that. But yet my mother did not say, girl, shut up. I'm coming down there. How you going to drive yourself to the hospital? Your water break. I don't know how this works. That's not what was said. It's like, well, all right. Now, remind you, I'm in a place that I have no family. I'm going to go in labor by myself. Now, my plan was I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to go jump in this truck and I'm going to drive on post and I'm going to get there and they're going to deliver this baby. Nobody cared enough to say, we coming. Not even his mama that lived 25 minutes away. But you know what I did? So even though she knew that I was going to be going in labor soon around this time, she decided to get this surgery. It was a surgery that didn't have to be done. It was one of those things. That's why it's not that I'm being inconsiderate. It's one of those things of, hey, if you want it or not, right? Truth be told, she didn't want to deploy, so she wouldn't have surgery. I'm just telling the truth. Anyway, but instead, I had a friend, a battle buddy that lived across in Louisiana that called me one day. We hadn't even talked. We hadn't talked in so long because this guy that we knew, mutual friend we had, came between us, stirred up some mess, and it kind of like pulled us apart. We didn't have no bad words. We just pulled apart from each other. Hadn't heard of about a year or two, maybe even 3. She hit me up. She said, hey, Knox, what's up? It's like nothing. It's like, I'm pregnant. I'm going labor any day now. She said, oh, man, where's your husband? I was like, he deployed. Well, who's there with you? I said, nobody. I'm going to go by myself. Now, this is a person, she ain't got no kids. She ain't got no kids. She said, what you mean you going to labor by yourself? I was like, just go up there, push a baby out. I mean, what do I need somebody up there for? Now, remember, I don't know no better. She said, you're crazy. She said, I'll be there. Now, her daddy a great dad. Her dad made sure her tires was good. Everything was good on her vehicle. She got on that road, drove all the way from Louisiana, came to Georgia with me. And I said, okay. All right. I mean, still not hitting me that I did not love myself enough to know that somebody should have in my family said, shut up, I'm coming. Somebody. Not even his mama that lived 25 minutes away. But let me tell you. So my homegirl get there this next day and I'm like, hey, well, I'm going to go get checked on. This is because I lead with love. I am love, regardless. I said, well, I'm going to go get checked on real quick. I'm going to go up to the hospital. Before we go to the hospital, I was like, first off, let me get something to eat, right? We went and had a little meal. And I said, well, I want to go get checked because he's due on the 16th. And it's the 13th. And so let me go get checked, make sure I'm not about to go on labor because I'm about to take me, the friend that came to help me, that nobody else thought to come help me. I'm about to take her over to his mama house because she went and had surgery. I'm going to take her over there with me because I got to help her. I'm going to help her. I'm going to help her with her surgery, even though I'm due any day now. Nobody took in consideration of helping me. So when we went in to get checked, they said, well, we're going to keep you. I said, oh. They said, he's, crowded up in there. We're going to take him. I said, what you mean take him? I'm nervous. My homegirl like, yes, come on, bring him. And then I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on with this light. And I said, okay. And I gave birth to a child. Now, I didn't know how long I was in labor because I remember it was 1 o'clock on the 13th. We went in there. I didn't have no windows. So it was the 14th my baby was born 8:14 at 8:14 p.m. That's my baby. And had she not been there, looking back after I had my child, it was so emotional. I found out like, okay, that was sad. But this is my family. I love them regardless. So what I had another one. We decided, hey, let's have another one. I was like, well, you ain't got to deploy for another 2 years, so this would be great to have another child, right? I'm like, all right, cool, let's have another child. And what did he do? Same thing. Chasing the bag. Chasing a grade. It wasn't going to give him extra pay. It was a grade. And now, once again, not only now am I left pregnant while you deploy, when you didn't have to deploy, but you wanted to chase a rank. Now I got a 4-year-old. And I got to have this little baby. And I got to get a C-section. Same thing. Same predicament. This time my mom came. Now I don't have a choice because somebody got to watch my youngest son. I can't have him up in the living room. And they were there for a week. And then after that, same thing. Process. Me doing it all over again by myself. So the point that what I'm trying to tell you is, and the reason why I give you my testimony on the things that I went through in life is because of the fact I did not know how messed up people were to me until I actually went and healed. It brings tears to my eyes. I'm really fighting back all these tears now. I really am. It's the thug in me that won't let it out now. but no, really, I look at that when I went through my self-love and my healing journey, I realized that I allowed people to treat me so bad. I allowed people to walk all over me, and I still love them. Now, this is the point when you feel like you want to get angry and you want to fight. Because this is the part of the healing journey that causes you to look at stuff like, oh no. You really see it for what it is. But I still didn't want to fight. Listen, Turner, I done been through some stuff. I can write a book about it. However, that's not what my thing is, to write a book. My thing is to tell my testimony. Everything that I went through and go through in life has everything to do with the testimony for somebody else. People have left me out by myself. I remember my first car. If we're going to tell it, I'm about to tell it all. My first car I called, I said, Mom, can you help me? The man said, I got to have $500 to put down. She was truthful. She said, I'm not giving you shit. She meant that. And I remember just hanging up the phone because I'm in the Army. I'm a private. I just got to my duty station. I don't know how to get around. I don't know nobody. This is all new to me. This is the first time I've ever been away from home. All right, cool. Whatever. I still chased after her love because that is my mother. A child will always chase after a mother's love, no matter how bad that mother treat them. Right? This is not a bash my mother type thing, so y'all don't come on here with it. She did what she thought was good. But see, it's the love in me that can forgive the things regardless of how it went. I remember trying to do better. Yeah, I got kicked out of high school. I was always fighting. I was that chick. Yes, shit was me. However, it's not that I was always fighting. I was just always doing what I wanted to do. That's what it was. I was doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And so she cried to me and she said, well, if you get into this college that was way up the road, I don't have a car, 30 minutes away if we driving, I will get you a car. And I even started looking for cars, and she even went out and looked at the car with me. Yes, she did. Hold on, let me put my puzzle together. It didn't verify. Hold on, let me put my puzzle together. Look like it's going to kick me off. All right. Because these reading glasses, these ain't seeing glasses, so I don't know what I got going on. But listen, 30 minutes away, she's like, if you just go to school, I promise I'm going to get you a car. I promise I'm going to help you get that promise. I signed up for it. So she went and looked at this car with me. I'm excited. And she looked me in my face and told me, I ain't buying you shit, bitch. Those were the words she said to me. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it at all. You told me you would do this for me. Cool. Let's rewind it back before I even got there. Or after I got there. Matter of fact, it was after. I'm working at UPS. They drop us off 10 blocks away from my house. I'm in Indiana. It's get cold. You're going to walk in some snow. I'm 12 blocks, about 15 blocks away where they drop me off. I walk from there. It's no problem because I ain't never had no car. I'm walking anyway. I'm 18. I don't care. I think I just turned 19. Yeah, I was 19 around this time. And cool. I'm going. Get home. Now, because I enrolled in another college. Now, remind you, if I was driving in a car, it would take me maybe about 15 minutes to get there. That's driving in a car. So I had to walk. So I got enough time to come in here, not change out of the clothes that I done worked in all night, but to change my shoes because I got to walk. And I didn't never complain. I never complained. I remember one time I asked her, I said, Mom, can I use your car? Can you take me? I'm not taking you no fucking well. All right, cool. Now, she brought my brother cars. Matter of fact, I went looking for a car. She went out and bought him a car, bought him an apartment. But it's neither here nor there, right? So now I'm sitting at the table changing my shoes, and she's like, hey, clean this fucking kitchen up. Now, I done talk back now. I'm like, no, you don't cook no food for me. I don't eat here. This for you and your boyfriend. I'm not cleaning it up. Because I don't understand. You went in here and messed the whole kitchen up to cook for this dude that stay behind that closed door that don't even come out. You got to take his food in there like mister. See, couldn't be me. But you got to take this food up in there like he mister. You got to do all this. I ain't doing that. Ain't my daddy. I know who my daddy is. Boom. I just finally stood up for myself. Walked my tail on to school. Next day, let me tell you how smooth that went. She said, same thing. Come in, change my shoes. She's like, hey, I made you some breakfast. I already know something up. I'm like, wait a minute now. Hold on. What's the catch? But I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So she was like, I made some pancakes and some bacon in there. I get it. I make me a plate and I sit down like, I really ain't got no time to eat it. I really don't have no time to eat it. But I ate it. And she said, now clean my fucking kitchen up, bitch. God damn, I should have known that shit was coming. I knew it was coming. But that was the thing. Those are the things that I had to go through. Those are the things that during my healing and self-love journey that I had to go back and look at like, and I want to get mad. And I want to go fight. I want to just go crazy. Because now I'm looking at even a time, because I told y'all now, I was younger, got in some trouble, I had to go to court. The judge told me, you need to come up here and your GED or we're gonna have an issue. And I had to go get that. And I worked hard to get it. I had to walk to go get it. And she made me miss my court date because my dad was going to take me to court. My dad came way across town because I'm baby girl, so he coming. Because she didn't want to give me a ride. She didn't want to do anything because her boyfriend's back there, whatever. So she sent me to the store. She was like, hey, can you run to the store? Get her friend some cigarettes, newspaper, little boyfriend. I was like, okay, cool. I can get my dad some coffee. I used to smoke cigarettes too. And get us some cigarettes, right? And that sounds so funny to say that word, cigarettes. But I'm like, okay, cool. So I come back. I'm waiting on my dad. I'm waiting. I would have never told this story in a million years, but this is who I am today. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And I call I said, Mommy, I asked Mom, did you see Dad? She's sitting at the table sipping her coffee, leaning on the chair. I ain't seen him. So I called my stepmom. I'm like, hey. She was like, your dad been gone. So now I'm worried because this is my father. It don't take that long for him to get to me, and he'll never make me late. And I'm waiting. I said, well, Mom, can I use your car because I'm going to be late for court? I don't know. I either go see what happened to Daddy. No, you're not using my fucking car. I was like, okay. She loved that damn word. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I sat back. And I'm like, something ain't right. Now, I don't care about court. I'm about to walk these streets and go find my father. And that's when she giggled and said, I sent your dad to court with your brother. I said, is you going to let me use your car? You're not using my fucking car. Bitch, you can walk. All I know, and that's why I say, God, enough is enough, right? Enough is enough. So the place where my father was supposed to go was over an hour away. Somehow, in the mix of me blacking out, I don't know what happened. All I know is I'm being carried out, restrained by my father, right? I don't even remember him coming in the door. I don't remember what happened. I don't know what's going on. I still to this day can't tell you what happened. All I know, a lot of stuff was flipped over. And he's restraining me. And I can't breathe right. I can't come to. He finally get me outside and he got me by my shoulders and he's trying to shake me. He's like, he called me Woogie. He's trying to get my eyes focused. He kept grabbing my face. He kept shaking it. He kept shaking me. See, I don't know what was happening to me. Still to this day, I don't know what happened. I don't know who I became in that moment. I don't know how much of, this is the last time for me. I don't know what happened to me, but I know my life changed after that. I've always been spiritual. I've always been, knowing who I was. I know my purpose. I know these things. But I remember that day, my whole life changed. My whole life changed. I never asked any questions of, because regardless of how it go, I love my mother. So I don't know. I don't even want to know, did I actually get close? Did I put my hands? I don't know. All I know is that she was at the door screaming to the top of her lungs, calling me bees and all this stuff and keep me the fuck away from her, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But when I finally came to, I just remember falling in my father's chest. And I told him I can't take it. He took me. Now, at this time, I'm 19. I'm like, I can't take it. And so I had met back with the recruiter. And the recruiter told me, he said, I was back at work. And the recruiter said, you still don't want to join the Army? He said, you still don't want to leave your little brother and come to the Army? I said, well, he got killed. Because I told him before, I'm not leaving my little brother. If I can bring him with me, that was the stipulations. He told me, he lied to me first off, because once I got in the Army, I knew that I would have came for him. If I would have gotten in the Army, and then I found out while I'm in the Army that I couldn't get my brother, I would have came for him. Because he don't understand the love that I had for my brothers. But neither here nor there now. And he finally came to me again, and he was like, I said, well, my brother was killed, because he was killed. And I was just trying to figure out who I'm about to be. I don't even know how I got through that death, right? And so I said, but if you can get me away in 2 weeks. I'm out of here. Because all this time I've been walking off to this college, going to this college because the Marines told me, okay, you need 15 college credit hours. And I was determined to get in the Marines. Regardless, I'm out of here. But when that man told me, he said, I can get you out of here. I went to court, let the judge know what was going on with me. And everybody in the court, they just clapped. They were so happy. I'm out of there. I mean, there's more to the stories. Even when it was time for me to ship out, my brother took me to a whole nother city that I couldn't get back home to. I'm thinking I'm about to hang out with him, but no, he took me down there because it was a plot and plan with them to miss my MEPS date. Not only did I quit my job, I'm getting ready to ship out, but you about to make me miss my ship date? Let me tell you something. When God say he don't play about his, he don't play about me. He do not play about me. When I was at that bus and she said, well, don't leave me. He gonna mistreat me, talking about my brother. Y'all should have seen me the way I threw that, on the Greyhound at the bottom of the bus. The thing with I got my bag, shoved that thing up in there because I almost stepped back and said, I won't go because a child's love for their mother was out of there. I can laugh about it now because, like I said, I'm grown. And I look at a lot of things now. I don't look at it as she hated me. See, that's the part that why I had to heal from. I realized that all my female family members, when they get mad at their kids, they say some of the craziest things ever. So it was learned behavior. So am I going to live the rest of my life mad? Has to also think about, she raised us by herself. My father was a great father. He wasn't a great husband to her. He didn't keep a job, but see, that's not what kids need. Kids need love. He gave me. He was rich to me because he gave me the love that I needed. So when I would talk highly about him, it would make her mad. When she talked low about him, I talk high. And it became a thing of what I'm missing to her is, I'm the one that do everything. I'm the Santa Claus. I'm the this, I'm the this, I'm the this, I'm the this. But yet you say you love your father. I ain't heard you say you love me. See, she was missing the disconnect. I don't love him the way that you love him. Do you understand? So that's the part that you have to, when you start healing, you start to see things about people. Because all these years, I thought she hated me. All these years. Yeah, she did some crazy things. She did some real crazy things. But she didn't hate me. She didn't know how to deal with me. She wasn't healed. How's she going to raise me? Another woman. And I tell a lot of people, a lot of women that have boys, right? They were taught how to take care of men. That's why you could be the youngest. You, as the female, could be the youngest, the middle child, the oldest. It don't matter. Your job is to take care of your brother. Your brother needs something. If something ain't happening, your mama gonna cuss you out. That's your brother. And they was molding us and teaching us from our brothers how to cater to a man. And that's why women end up getting with men and they take care of them. They love them no matter how bad they do them. They constantly loving on them. They constantly pouring into them. They constantly doing these things because they were taught from a child to do this. So yes, during my healing journey, I had to learn that these people didn't hate me. She don't know any better because anytime a mother react like that to her own daughter, which is a spitting image of her, and react to her in a hated way, in an evil way, in a mean way, it's because she hates herself. She has no self-love. She don't love herself, but she don't know she don't love herself. So I had to learn to give her grace. But understand that I don't have to bring up everything you did to me to make you feel bad, because that's the compassion in me. I would never say nothing for years because I never wanted her to feel bad. But that's the grace. That's the compassion. That's the love that I give. What I did was I learned how to accept her for who she was. And I had to teach her how to treat me. So when it came to, I'm going to put my 2 cents. You don't tell me nothing about raising kids. You can't speak to me on how to raise my kids. That bothered her and it hurt her. And she told me it hurt her. And I had to explain to her how I seen her as a parent. So it's not that I don't respect you. It's the fact I didn't respect how you raised me. So the way you think of raising a child is not the way that I see raising a child. See, I'm not doing it the way you're doing it. It was a big thing. Remember, as we talk about, to be GAY, you can't say certain words. Back then, that was like, oh God, no. I'm going to disown you, right? So I remember I was teaching my son how to wash dishes, because that's one of the biggest things. My boys, I'm going to teach you how to take care of yourself, because what you're not about to do is get with somebody's daughter and play in her face, and you're not going to do that. You're going to know how to take care of yourself first off. You're going to learn how to come to the table helping. You're going to learn how to help her be the best wife, the best woman she can be, vice versa, she help you. So she told me, no, you're going to make him GAY. This was back in the day before it became a thing. We got educated on it. So y'all don't come for me. I'm my mama now. Don't come. And I thought that was the craziest thing in the world for you to think that. And I thought to myself, that is why my brother is the way that he is. That joker can't do nothing. You got to help him fill out an application. I'm just saying. No. I stopped allowing her to put her 2 cents on anything that I'm doing, because I chose to break that generational curse and raise my children the way that, the right way, meaning that you're a boy, you can have emotions. That don't mean that you fit to go out here and be out here snapping your neck and throwing your neck around and throwing yourself all on the car and sliding down the steps when the girl don't want you. No. What that means is identify how you feel and sit in it. Don't dwell in it, but sit in it. Know what it feels like so it won't happen to you again, son. You got to know. You go through a heartbreak and you just sweeping it under the rug. You got to know what it feels like so you won't keep getting a heartbreak. You won't keep doing the same thing. It happens because we don't teach them. But I couldn't do any of these things until I had to heal myself. I had to stop worrying. Listen, stop worrying about what people say. I was people pleasing my whole life. Listen, I don't care what you got to say about me. Say it. I'm at the point now you can talk about me. I don't care. I'm not going to, and hear me very clearly. I'm not going to lose no sleep. Nope. I'm not going to, because there was a point in time that I would dwell on what that person said and it just replay over and over and over. Not no more. Nope. That's why I say I'm ready. God will bring you your spouse when you are ready. I'm ready now, because I am not going to worry that man to death. I am not going to have that man sitting around like, oh my God, if she don't get on my face. Why she won't? Listen, what is you talking about? Why is she all upset? No, they ain't going to do that. They're going to be like, all right. Matter of fact, they're going to be chasing me down, talking about come on, give me some of that gossip that you have for the day, because I want to talk to you, because I'm funny. What up, Rick? So, yeah. But it was only when I decided to heal is when I was able to handle these situations differently. Yeah. So, heal, self-love journey. Learn how to love yourself. Love yourself, okay? Listen, it is 9:45 my time. I like to come on here because my testimony, like I said, it's things that will come up as we go, It's just when God tell me to say it, then I'll say it. I'll share my testimony. Your testimony is not for everybody. So just because I have a bunch of stories to tell, that does not mean I'm going to sit on this live and tell you about them. You probably will never get to hear half of them because they're not for you. And that's what you guys need to understand. When you go through your self-love journey, a lot of things that you talk about and you deal with, you got to know when and where to tell your story, who to tell it to, how you're going to deliver it. And you should always be able to deliver it from an authentic place, because there's no way that if you got to change who you are to tell your testimony, you don't need to be there. You don't need to be there. You have to always be true and authentic. A lot of people, they just assume that I just had a great life, I guess. I mean, I did. Depending on how you're looking at it. I mean, I'm kind of a big deal. Listen, it doesn't matter who you are, what you're going through, God will still use you. So I do want to say this. I have a friend. Well, she passed away. So no problem. Picasso, listen. So my friend, Barbara Torrance, she passed away recently. Not sure how. And so we go back way to middle school, right? And we didn't talk every day. But we talk. Sometimes we talk. It can be 3 months go by, 6 months go by, but we talk. One thing about her, she was very intuitive and she was very spiritual. But a lot of people look past it because Barbara will cuss you slap out too from a place of love. And so people would just do away. But what they did not know is how spiritual she was. How much that girl loved. Now listen, Barbara loved, her heart was so big. Like listen, growing up, she would fight. She was fighting. Barbara will tear you out the frame, up and down the street, your mama too. But what people didn't know is after she do all that fighting, she go in and she be crying because her connection with God and how she loved. And so she didn't have an easy life. She did not have an easy life. That girl had a stressful life since a kid. But, so when I found out about it, I'm like, okay, it's after midnight. And I'm like, what the freak? And her birthday just passed. And I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. I cried so hard. Because I'm like, dang, I just started looking at her life. Like, since a kid, she's been stressed out. This girl went through so much in life. It's like she was always stressed. It was like she's been fighting. She's been fighting. Her whole life she's been fighting. And then it hit me. I was thinking about earlier how I had walked by my front door and it was this blue robin at my door, at my bush. And I was like, okay, think none of it. And then it hit me of, why am I crying that she's gone? This baby stressed out her whole life. She never had peace. She finally got peace. You have to be a healed person to be able to take what is so hurtful, because her being gone, and I'm looking at it, her kids are not going to understand that. Her kids will never understand that. But for me, I'm so, at this point, grateful because my friend finally got peace. Yeah. So that was our buns. That was our buns. Our Barbara buns. That girl had a big, big heart. But because she drank, right? She drank, she get crunk, she tearing you out the frame if you come for her. But the way that girl pray. Thanks, Ranisha. The way that girl pray and the way, when we talk, and she just be like, Isha, I know that they doing this, and I know. Thank you, Gigi. I know this and I know that, but I ain't even gonna say nothing. But she would be honest with me and tell me it hurt her feelings. I'm like, well, you know how they get, but it's no reason for you to get out of character. Because once you get out of character, it's a wrap. It's like Nicki Minaj. Yes. But that's what most people seen her as, that. But she was more than that. So my father even took to her because of the fact he started looking at her as a daughter. Yeah. Yeah. So rest in peace, my friend. And she finally got some peace. And no one really, she couldn't really be her true, authentic self. It was like she had to be what people assumed she was. You know, she was this tough girl. She grew up down on 25th in Gary, Indiana. So, but, man, the mayor there, we all went to high school together. So, in middle school and things like that. So, and they grew up with each other. Like, they all lived down that way. So I know they're going to I don't know. He probably stopped the whole city because I don't think she ever really knew how much people loved her, because those same people that they did love her, they didn't show it in the kindest way. They didn't show it in the way of, we love you back. Some people used her because she give you the shit off her back. So for me, like when the mayor, the guy we went to high school with, he became the mayor, right? I can imagine if she would bust through bodyguards and all that and stand next to him and say, no, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. I'm standing, and he will, I can't see him turning away because she's Barbara. She don't mean no harm, but she coming through there and you gonna respect it. You gonna put some respect on her name. She's like, we all the same age, but she the mama. Nobody's ever going to ask that. Nobody's ever going to ask. And that's why I always tell people, you know what? You got to not worry about what people got to say, because if that person is ballsy enough to come try you, you mind your own business, that person is ballsy enough to come try you, then you handle them the way that you know how to handle them. They can't expect you to react the way they want you to react. You reacting, you come to me bumping your gums. I'm just using me as an example. Don't come for me, y'all. But you come to me bumping your gums, and you expect me to bump my gums back? No, I'm about to bust them gums open. That's just an example. I didn't say that's what I was going to do. So don't be coming to me talking about, oh, she's a fighter. No, I'm not a fighter. I show love. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I'm just saying, you can't come to someone and expect them to react the way that you react. That's why it's best to just leave folks alone. And so that was with Barbara. Leave her alone. She ain't coming for you. So, yeah. I want to thank y'all for the follows, the likes, and the shares. And keep her family in prayer, because she does have a younger son. It doesn't matter how old her kids are. That's their mommy. And she lost her mama at a young age, too. She really did. I just wish that I can just share her with y'all in this moment so you can see why my heart feels a little heavy. My mom still is. My father, Gigi, I was too, but I'm a big girl now. I'm a grown up now. But thank you so much. Listen, he'll come. Listen, I got enough of them in my inbox right now, but the one that's for me will come. Listen, I have them everywhere. You know, if I go out, there they go. But I'm using my discernment. So, you know, I'll know which one is for me. But yeah, I just, with that, I just wanted to put that out there about her. Yeah. So you guys, as always, as I say to you guys, you are so welcome. Me sharing my story. Oh, and for the one that asked about my parents, my father passed in 2021. And I did not grieve him until 2023, which thrust me into my self-love journey. If y'all have not got y'all book, this is a journal, and it gives you some of my testimonies to help you create boundaries, and it's a guideline on your self-love journey, okay? It's called Trinity Walk to Self-Love. It's on Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Nobles. With this whole rollback of this DI. So I don't know how long it's going to be on the Walmart and Amazon, y'all. So go and get it when you can. But whatever happens with that, happens with that. And that's another thing I want everyone to know. And I'm going to leave y'all with this because I always do like 12 closeouts before I do the actual official closeout. What's going on in this season, I will never sit and talk politics. That's just not who I am or what I'm going to do. This platform is to teach you how to be the better version of yourself. However, with that and self-love and healing, Lisa, that's another story. I'm going to catch you up on that one. With that self-love and healing, this is when your faith, whatever your faith in your spirituality is, whatever it is, that's what you need to hone on in. That's what you need to focus on. In this time, what's going on with the world, and it doesn't matter who's the leader, who's not the leader. You have to hold on to your faith. You have to go within. Media, stay away from it, okay? All this social media talking about what 47 did, what 45 did, what 46 did, and what is this and what is that. These are people that have opinions. Opinions are not facts. Some things become factual, but then when the facts are out there, guess what media do? Break it down so they can make it into a lie. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter which side that you want to be on. That shouldn't matter. What should you focus on is yourself. Let God cook. Everything that's happening now is part of the prophecy. The prophecy is unfolding. The biggest prophecy that we have is the Bible itself. That is it. So if you go within that, then everything that's unfolding will let it happen. Everyone that is first will be last. The last will be first. These things are happening. Everyone's looking at this mass follow thing. And by the way, I promote the mass follow. So if y'all don't hear, click on each other, follow each other. I don't care. Everybody think this mass following, you know how it happened? Well, they thought that it was going away. So what happened? A lot of creators started telling their secrets. A lot of them shot themselves in the foot. A lot of people woke up and said, wait a minute. I'm following you and you got all these followers and ain't nobody following me. I'm the one that's making you rich, but yet I'm trying to get where you are. Have you noticed now mass following? Everybody's going up. And everybody that was following these big creators are taking their follows back. Listen, everyone that was first will be last. Because God allowed them to get their platforms and get their places, get their jobs, get their different things in the world. He gave them, he allowed them to be a leader for his people or whatever the case may be and do the job to lead them. And they chose to lead off of their own free will and off of their own understanding. And they chose to make it about themselves. See, when everyone starts something, it starts off with a passion. But as they grow and they grow, it becomes self-centered, selfish. So all that's going on, I don't know why I'm about to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. FUBU, for us, by us, guess what? It started off in the beginning with a passion, with a movement. And then all of a sudden it got real expensive, real expensive. We can't afford that because it became about self. Do you understand? That's just an example. So this platform, as I say, if I don't have what it is for him to tell me to say, I don't come on. And it's not that I don't want to talk to y'all. It's just that I'm so afraid of getting out of alignment. I'm so afraid of saying the wrong thing that can lead somebody off. You know, we laugh and we joke about things, but the seriousness is, in my testimonies of what I used to do, is to show you who I am today. Just because you see my glory, you got to understand it's a story. And my story of getting to where I am was not easy. It wasn't easy. I had everything stacked against me. But because I stayed the course, even when people were throwing knives in my back, I stayed the course. Even though when people were lying on me, I stayed the course. When people tried to make me out to be somebody I wasn't, I stayed the course. I stayed the course. The problem is now they made a beast out of me. So now I stay the course, but I speak up now. And I don't speak up with anger. I don't speak up with, I'm coming for you. I said what I said, and I'm very direct. Next. I said what I said. Next. I play 0 games, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel a type of way. I don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't say, no. I said what I said. Next. We can laugh and joke later. Business is business. See, it was a point in time I wouldn't do that. But all the things that I went through in life made me become the person that I am today. You know, I wear a lot of hats. So ladies, don't be ashamed of all 88 of your personality showing up at one time. Yes, it's going to cause a cat fight. Yes, it's going to have you going crazy. Yes, it is. It's just learning how to balance all your hats. They're not personalities. They're hats. You wear a lot of hats. But learn how to balance it. Because don't a man want that. You won't get your husband that way. You're going to get another dude that's probably got 20 personalities, but you won't get your husband.
Mom, can I drink your Coke? Or the Fanta?
Did you just come in on my live because you want to drink my Fanta? Did you just come in on my live? Yes, you can have it. So, all the hats that you wear, be okay with that. Precious, that was your nephew that just walked through here. So, heal. I'll be back on. I try and do, because I like this microphone. And listen, it's not even hooked up to my phone. It's hooked up to the computer. But you should see me. I'll be like, yo, turn my headphones up like I'm a rapper. I be getting it for real. I do. I'm putting my single out. So, remember to pour into your cup before you pour into others. I love y'all so much. And let's practice loving each other. No matter what's going on in the world, get back to the present. Do not allow anything to give you anxiety. If you get to the point that something starts irritating your peace, bring yourself back to the present. And matter of fact, I'm going to do a session when we're just doing nothing but meditation. So, of course I didn't. Don't come on here when we crisscross applesauce and we doing them and we meditating, talking about what's going on. No, just follow suit and just do what Coach and I doing. Okay? So I love you guys. As I said, pour into yourself before you pour into others. And if you want to pour into someone else, make sure you're using your discernment and they're only getting some of your overflow. So this is a continuous thing. We're going to continue to heal. You're not going to get it right tomorrow. I'm going to heal until I'm 150 because I'm going to be here that long because I got things to do. I got to see my greatest grandbaby. So I got to stay here for that because I got to teach her the secrets and the secrets on how to piss everybody off and still be humble. Okay. All right, you guys. Coach Nye out.